Earlier this year, we told you how Lutheran Senior Services announced that they have rebranded to EverTrue. This organization is the 11th largest senior services provider in the entire country, and EverTrue is headquartered right here in St. Louis. This organization has been serving older adults with trusted world-class care for over 165 years, and today they have yet another big announcement. We are so honored that they are making it right here on Great Day St. Louis, and we are very happy to have Bethany Goff with us. She is the director of EverTrue Answers, and also Colleen Bottens, the vice president of EverTrue Anywhere Care. Good to see both of you ladies.
Thank you.
Let's get right to it. Bethany, what is the big announcement? What is this new partnership?
Absolutely. So EverTrue's been caring for older adults with dementia for many years. So we understand the challenges that are faced by the individuals as well as their caregivers. But we have hope and help available, and I'm excited to say that effective today, EverTrue is participating in an innovative pilot program through Medicare called GUIDE, which will help to support individuals with dementia improve their quality of life and also stay at home longer.
And what exactly does GUIDE stand for?
Of course. So GUIDE stands for Guiding an Improved Dementia Experience. It's a model of care that's designed to provide comprehensive support for the individual with dementia and also their caregiver.
And this is so amazing, and it is going to impact so many of our viewers and their families. Colleen, I want to bring you into this. What is the ultimate goal of the GUIDE model care?
Yeah, the ultimate goal of GUIDE is to improve the quality of life for people living with dementia, and to do that by strengthening in-home support services for people living with dementia and their caregivers. And we really want to do that by improving the information and education that's available to those caregivers right there in their own home. And that information can help them not only understand the disease process of dementia, but also the challenges of day-to-day living with dementia.
And you mentioned services, so Bethany, back to you. What are some of the services that are being offered through GUIDE?
Of course. So our care navigators are going to be able to provide an in-home comprehensive assessment with the individual with dementia as well as their caregiver to identify needs, goals, create a care plan, and really help get them connected with resources and services that they may need. They may also be eligible for respite services, so caregivers can take a break if they need to. And a really critical piece is offering 24/7 caregiver support, and we're going to do that a couple ways. We're partnered with an organization called True Alta that can provide on-demand education, as well as our own EverTrue 24/7 support line to get connected with one of our care team members.
And I'm so glad that you are putting an emphasis on the caregivers too, and not just the men and women who are living with dementia, but those in their circle who are providing that daily care every single moment of the day. Colleen, back to you, because I know people at home are thinking, okay, is my family member or am I eligible for this? What are the requirements for that?
That's a great question. So in order to be eligible for GUIDE, you have to have a diagnosis of dementia that's been confirmed by a clinician, so like a doctor. And you have to have Medicare as your primary insurance, be enrolled in Medicare A and B, and then you can't be enrolled in hospice, a PACE program, or a resident of a nursing home.
Bethany, back to you. Why should someone choose EverTrue as their GUIDE provider?
Sure. So I will say our care navigators are very skilled and dedicated. They're trained in dementia care. They're able to partner with someone along their dementia journey and also make sure that they are getting the services they need wherever they call home. Additionally, EverTrue as an organization is really committed to care, to education, to make sure that every care team member is receiving dementia training. And really the caregiver support piece is just critical. So the care navigator is going to be able to work with the caregiver to access through the online platform written materials, videos that can range from 5 minutes to 2 hours, live virtual support groups, written materials, really tailor that support to what the caregiver is needing.
And friends, this is where you can find out more information. If you or a loved one is navigating a dementia diagnosis, there is hope and help right here in St. Louis, courtesy of EverTrue. Right now, they are offering enhanced care and at-home support for people living with dementia, and as we've talked about, their caregivers. Learn if you or a loved one Everyone is eligible for guide services through EverTrue by calling 314-218-6661 or visit evertrueliving.org/guide. Again, Kent, evertrueliving.org/guide.
That's exciting.